kick off, my counterpart from India, Alison, the country director India of the British Council, she's going to make her opening remarks. Alison, come on board.
So maybe I should say namaste if I'm on Indian soil here this morning. So good morning, my name is Alison Barrett. I'm the Director of the British Council in India and also the Minister of Culture and Education for the British High Commission in India. So I'm really, really happy to be here with my counterpart Amish and welcome everyone this morning. So this is a really exciting opportunity. Partnering with the India Global Forum has been a real pleasure. We had an excellent education roundtable yesterday, and I'm really looking forward to the series of discussions this morning. Thank you so much to my colleagues, Rehana, I don't know where she is, oh there she is, Rehana Mughal, who's really helped drive and put this together, and my colleague Paramita, who's somewhere in the audience. Oh, she's there at the back. So thank you so much for everything you've done. So John Newbegin, who I think is in the audience, I saw him earlier. Yes, I thought I saw you earlier. Good morning. He said very famously that creative economy will be the fuel of the 21st century. And I think India and the UK contribute probably a disproportionate amount of that magic fuel to the sectors. So it's great to see such collaboration. The last few months have seen significant global acknowledgement of the contribution that India makes to the sector. We've seen Natu Natu win an Oscar, we've seen The Elephant Whisperer win an Oscar, we've seen Daljit Dosanjh get mentioned by the US Secretary of State and perform at Coachella. There are world legends, there are too many to mention, but Tagore, Amrita Shergill, A.R. Rahman. I mean, it's just a fantastically rich sector and just a pleasure to be part of it in a very, very small way. So over the last couple of years, the British Council has worked with FICCI in India to commission a series of reports looking at the creative industries in India and really trying to make the contribution that it makes more visible to the powers that be. So the Taking the Temperature reports demonstrated that about 2.5% of India's GDP comes from this rich sector, and it's really something that we shouldn't ignore. We should celebrate and see how we can support more. So in the UK, the funding bodies such as the Arts Council England are here today, Creative Scotland, the HM Treasury with its work on tax, they all support gift aid, they all support and help the sector really thrive and grow. And this is expertise and learning that we are surfacing in India. There's so much that we can do to strengthen the mutual prosperity of both countries through the creative industries. But to help make it more robust and more connected and ready for the future in India, the research that we commissioned recommended 4 things. So firstly, the need for a much more organised and interconnected sector that spans across the different art forms, because we know that all the sectors are interconnected and depend on each other. Secondly, the establishment of a creative economy task force, some kind of cross-government initiative to enable the 14 different ministries in India who all have a culture and creative industries remit to come together and support the sector to grow. A stronger regulatory framework and much more financial investment and support for the sector, which I'm sure we would all welcome. But overall, it's about taking a very long-term view and making sure that the sector's looking at the world-beating performances like Natu Natu and the sort of stars of the sector, but also really supporting the grassroots people who are emerging in the sector. So something like 200 million working in the sector, in the non-formal, informal sectors, mainly women. How can we support them to really grow and thrive? And that's one of the priorities for the British Council, working together to connect new and emerging artists so that they can develop their skills together, build their capacity, build that understanding and appreciation of each other's cultures, but also support their livelihoods, which is really, really important for their long-term future. So just finally, the word for culture in many Indian languages is Sanskriti, and that's an amalgam of Shristi and of Prakriti. Now this is something that Meenakshi Lekhi, who's the Minister of Culture, sort of taught me at the second culture working group of the G20. And together that means nature. So you've got creation and nature coming together in the word culture. And I think that's a really important concept for us to hold on to. that the fuel of the 21st century, it's green fuel that we need. It's about connecting global mindsets, it's about bringing people together to tackle some of the greatest global challenges that we face. I'm really pleased that you've got downstairs the Wood Wide Web, which is one of the Season of Culture funded grantee programs under our 75th anniversary program. And that's a collaboration between Farmers for Forests in India and the Kew Gardens Library. And they are really bringing AI and artistic approaches together to help us think about the importance of sustainability and protecting nature. So do have a look at that while you're here. So finally, with India's presidency of the G20 and the government of India's ambitions for One Earth, One Family, One Future, the India-UK Roadmap 2030 is driving the engagement between our two countries. And British Council is really delighted to be working with the Nehru Centre, with the Ministry of Culture and with the Department for Culture, Media and Sport in the UK on a programme of policy development and mutual exchange to support cultural innovation and to really help the creative industries thrive. So really happy to be with you today. And now I think it's my job to introduce the Secretary of State, Lucy Fraser, who's going to join us by video to give us a few words from her perspective, and look forward to that. Thank you very much.